you're seeing these, well, we've got verbs and we've got this dash and we've got this noun. Why did you?
Yeah, so a lot of people take a look at PowerShell and they say, oh, you know, it looks very much like UNIX, right? And by the way, it's just, you know, we actually tried to use UNIX, right? We didn't start off wanting to invent something. We started off saying, I got to solve a customer problem. And so there were some really great tools out there, the UNIX tools. So my first effort was to get those tools available on Windows. But it turned out that that didn't work. And the reason why is because UNIX is very much of a document-oriented operating system, which is a lot of the management is done through documents or files, whereas Windows is an API-oriented operating system. Okay, now both have their advantages, but here's the thing: the management's completely different. So when I got Bash and awk and sed and grep available on Windows, okay, it didn't help that much. Right? Why? Because then you go and you say awk doesn't work against the registry. Grep doesn't work against WMI, sed doesn't work against Active Directory. And so in Unix, those tools, those text manipulation tools, are management tools. But on Windows, they're just text manipulation tools and there's not much text, so they didn't help. So we had to invent our own stuff. And so then the question is, okay, well, we want to invent as little as possible. And so we leveraged a lot of the technology, a lot of the concepts of Unix, the compositional model. But Unix, you know, love Unix, you guys did a great job. On the other hand, it has weaknesses as well. And this is an area where we looked more to VMS, DCL, or the AS400. They have very good production-oriented environments, and they were extraordinarily regular in their environments, which is to say you had verb-noun, and then this well-defined set of parameters. And what happened, the first time I learned it, right, I was a Unix guy for a long time, and then I had to do VMS. And I got on it, I was like, I hate this thing, I despise this thing, it's a piece of junk. And I would go around telling everyone this, and it's like, okay, but I got to do it for my job. And I'd try somewhere, and I hate it. And at some point, I just had to like sit myself down and like, put your big boy pants on, Jeffrey. You know, you got to learn this. And so it's like, okay, stop, get out of your head condemning things, just like experience it. And so about an hour later, I'm like, hey, you know, this thing's pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, it's like something new comes up. And having learned a set of things, I said, boy, I wonder if that works. And it worked. So what happened was you learned the schema, right? Verb-noun, or with slashes there. But then it was the schema. You learned it once, and then you were able to do it over and over and over again. And that was the joke at DEC. At DEC, we used to say, hey, somebody put a fish finder on the VAX. Can you manage it? And they're like, sure, show fish finder. Get fish finder /no log.